I knew that I was gonna be involved in music somehow. I just didn't really know how I was gonna get there. Living in Indonesia, being born in Jakarta, it just seemed impossible. I'm NIKI, this is On the Rise. I have been singing for as long as I can remember because my mom sang at church. I would say I identified as a singer probably when I was like 18. When I started my career professionally singing, my family was, I'm sorry mom and dad, but I kind of signed my first contract behind their backs. In the beginning, I think it wasn't that they were unsupportive, it was more so that they didn't understand because obviously they came from a different generation and it just was difficult to wrap their head around. It just sort of took a few conversations for them to ultimately kind of understand where I was coming from. I don't know how I managed to win that Taylor Swift contest, but I got involved because my mom had sent me a flyer and I was like, this is a hoax, don't believe everything you read. And she's like, no, this is real. Just being 15, walking out into a stage of just like, and everybody's faces at that point kind of like, they just kind of blur into one in a way. And also you have like the blinding lights on you and it just kind of, that experience solidified my love for performing, and that's when I kind of realized like, oh, okay, 10,000 people sounds daunting, but when you're up there and the adrenaline's rushing and it's just like, I can do this, and I actually like doing this, and I like entertaining people.
If I could I'd freeze this moment, make it now. You're all I want to know.
How I got involved with YouTube is kind of a loaded answer, but I actually started it after I had opened for Taylor Swift when I was 15 years old. I was just noticing that on my Instagram, people were curious about me and people just wanted to know if I wrote songs and they just wanted to know about me and what my experience was like. And so I think one of my very first YouTube videos was just kind of like an update vlog of life after the concert and what I was up to. And then that kind of catalyzed me just feeling really prompted to kind of share my original songs on there. YouTube just kind of allowed for this, it just felt like it just felt like a community where people supported my endeavors and they supported my dreams and just like my writing and whatnot. I had no plan really, but my immediate plan was obviously the traditional route of going to college, getting a degree, figuring it out. I actually released See You Never before I went to college. That's how I first got involved with 88 Rising, and the story behind See You Never was also pretty funny because I literally was talking to my producer friend who I was working on the song with, and I said, how crazy would it be if it like ended up on 88 Rising, ha ha ha, like that would ever happen, pipe dream type, this type of conversation. And then it happened and I was just kind of like, what? And yeah, that started my relationship with 88. Then it just kind of snowballed into like, hey, come out to LA, we wanna work with you and we wanna sign you. I wasn't going to class and it got to a point where I was literally between Nashville and LA every single week. And I just kind of decided like, this is not sustainable for me. And I already know that this is kind of what I want to do in the future anyway. So I just kind of went out on a limb and did it. It took a lot of courage. My latest single, Switchblade, kind of talks about that in a very metaphorical kind of way. The release of Zephyr was honestly insane. I had no idea in terms of how it was going to catalyze my career from then on and how it was going to affect my relationship with my fans and what kind of fans I attracted, and just like, just basically built how it was gonna build the foundation in which I, grew my career. The reception was overwhelming. it was just so positive, and people were so excited to see, especially within the Asian market, Asian Americans, Asians in Asia, Asians everywhere, just kind of, I received an overwhelming amount of responses just saying like, hey, thanks for representing me and like what, you know, my face and like what I look like in my story. And that was what kept me going. I think it's just like, okay, I need to do this for all the girls that look like me, all the kids that look like me that want to do what I want to do. Zephyr is actually Greek for west wind. I wish it was intentional. I wish I could say that I was that much of a genius, but it really wasn't. I discovered that later. It was the body of work that kind of moved me westward and just kind of to the US, and it just established this global audience. I am such a huge fan of the Casey Musgraves Golden Hour album. I just love that album. I'd really love to work with those guys, Daniel and Ian. That's probably a dream collaborator, dream director. Man. You know what? I'm honestly a sucker for Taylor Swift's videos, so I would love to work with Joseph Kahn. His videos with Taylor are insane. Those are probably my two like dream collaborations.
Welcome to Head in the Clouds 2. My name is Nikki. I've waited a really long time to play this show. Yo, I put this song out 4 days ago, you know it? Y'all the first to hear it live.
Seeing thousands of people sing the words that you penned back to you is the most insane feeling. Both Head in the Clouds festivals were absolutely insane. We started the 88 Rising tour with that festival being the first stop, and it was just so incredibly career defining for me, and just like to see an ocean of faces that just kind of like they all looked like me, you know, all in one place. And it was so great to gather in the spirit of just celebrating heritage and culture and music. There are no words to describe it, but that was very, very much fulfilling and solidifying. So what's next is my Moonchild concept album. It's my debut album that I've been working on comprehensively for about 1.5 years now. And I have a single coming up. It's called Selene. I'm super excited about this whole project because it's definitely my most wide-ranging body of work so far, and it's a cohesive concept album. It's kind of like listening to a storybook if you listen top to bottom. This album was definitely my little brainchild. I loved fairy tales and I loved sci-fi, and just like, you know, it follows this titular character of the Moonchild from top to bottom, and you witness her growth. All of my past work has been very much focused on, you know, young love and puppy love. This album is very much centered around self-discovery and just my personal journey growing as an artist and as a human being. In terms of making it, I don't know. I feel like I will forever strive to get to the next level. Every time that I release something, the goal is to outdo what I've done before. I have fans that have stuck with me since the YouTube days that I'm like, oh my gosh, I'll see their handle or their name and be like, I know you commented on that video like in 2015. It's insane. And then to see them like graduate school, and it's just, yeah, it's been a very rewarding experience for me, and all I want to do is just motivate Asian faces everywhere that you can pursue your dreams, whatever they look like.